So if you'll watch the race video, you'll see that we're sort of getting balls deep into doing this gearbox now. So split the rear cover off, clutch is off already. If you're asking why I'm wearing slides in the garage, it's because my foot is still swollen from the crash and getting shoes on is painful. So safety not so first at the moment, but I've got everything secure, nothing's going to drop on my feet. So all the bolts are loose. To pull this back cover off, I am just going to scrub quickly all this stuff off, get the worst of it off, so when I actually lift the cover, nothing drops inside and I don't get a load of crap in my gearbox, basically. So I'm going to get the most of this off with some degreaser and a soft brass brush, and then we can open it up and have a look inside. So we're into gearbox, just having a little bit of issue getting that bearing off. The puller I've got, as you can see, if it'd focus, the teeth on the pull aren't big enough. And with it being a rounded lip on the bearing, I can't quite get enough purchase to pull it off. Because essentially what I need to do is pull this bearing off, then go through there, undo them 4 bolts, pull the other side off, and I can get the other bearing off, the other side of it, swap them onto the other shaft, and then away we go. So we're deep into it now. I've pulled this shaft out. So this is this is the bent side. As you can see, those were well on their way to going. Very, very bent splines. So this is in actually that way. As you can see, goes in that way. 4 bolts to undo it. I thought initially I had to pull this bearing off to get to the bolts, but you don't. But I did. I pulled the bearing off anyway because it was a stable thing to hold the shaft while I pulled the bearing off. So that bearing was off. 4 bolts out of there. You go through these holes on your gear to get them out. Then this quite literally just pulls out. So what I can assume next is it is circlip off, pull this bearing off, plate off, then we're onto the other shaft, plate on, bearing on, circlip on, rear bearing on, back in she goes. But I will do a side-by-side comparison when I get the other one out of the freezer as to the size difference of the splines, so you can see what you're actually getting. So here's your side-by-side comparison. I've fully built this one back up. Yeah, as you can see, it's a fair bit bigger. Straight, bent. Yeah, it's fully built back up. You need to wipe it off, and I'll set it back into place and build this gearbox back up. So it's not been too long. I estimate overall, end to end, you can be well done, clean within 4 hours. Just finished cleaning the mating surface up. I scraped it off, all the gasket, with a metal scraper really gently, and then I'd put some white spirit over to just get the worst of residue off. But seal it with crankcase sealant. This is the Polaris one. It's the people who make it for the Polaris. So that's what I use. It's worked on an engine so far that I've raced for 2 races in a 7-hour now, so can't be that bad. Yeah, got the worst of it off, and then I'm just gonna seal this and drop that on top of there, and hopefully she does all right. If not, I'll be pulling it back out. Here she is, done and dusted. It's got oil in it. It's been sat for over 24 hours. I've given it a rotate round. Just waiting for some RVT silicone to do this. Put the rear clutch cut box back on. I can fully assemble that. Finish cleaning the engine off. Just give it a quick scrub, because I'd rather scrub it now before it goes in. Might do a bit on that as well. Clutch is in, belt on, brand new Ultimax, of course. Put them together. Waiting for a rear brake line for this. It's got a rear brake line. I can torque all my axle nuts up. I want to put the skid plate on first so I can get to all the bolts. Then put my engine in and finish it up. I'm hoping and praying this Sunday might be the day it gets done. But something will jump in my way, of course, as usual. Bled the front brakes tonight. Rears are waiting for that last brake line. So as I've just mentioned, gearbox is back together. Just cleaning up its inside first with a wire brush, like it says in the book. Sorry for the squeaky thing, it's the puppet. Clean up that. Just gonna rub it down with some thinners or white spirit, just to get the last bit of residue off there. And then I will be siliconing it back together with this piece. You've got to flame treat this with a torch, just to get the, well, I don't know, to heat it up before it sticks on, I don't know. But yeah, I'll be getting everything prepped and hopefully getting it stuck on tonight, so then it can be set in and ready to get put in on Sunday. It is currently Thursday. Right, so I have been absolutely terrible at filming me actually doing stuff and finishing off videos. So last time you saw the gearbox, it was over there on a piece of wood. It's now mounted up and in. All went pretty smoothly. Had the bike started now. Not had it driving yet. That's hopefully tonight or else tomorrow. Got myself a new pilot. So yeah, so the gearbox is done. Wasn't that hard of a job at all. I would say that if you've got the right tools, anybody can do it. If you're fairly mechanically minded. And what else? Well, I just thought I'd show you this before I put the plastics on, because they're just about to go on. Sealed it up with RTV silicone around there. Got my clutches in. Fortunately, I'm missing the bolts, so I've had to cable tie all these. But yeah, that's where we're at for now. I've got a video finishing this as well coming up, so there might be two very shortly. And then I'm racing in 2 days on Sunday, so busy weekend. It's now Friday afternoon. Keeping busy. Just swapped the shocks back over because the TFX for it need refilling with nitrogen because I've lost the rebound. So yeah, closing up on this.